Okay, Mr. Boll, on the subject of stunts gone wrong, I wanted to get your take as somebody who's in the industry. Should Alec Baldwin be in prison?
He should be in prison for other things. No, I think he. I mean, look, I was not on set. I don't know how much he was like playing with the gun. Look, I'm the big shot, whatever. I don't know how many jokes he did, but the reality is that I have to say two things about it. Also about the next film I'm doing.
Cool.
Yeah, it's so. If you get a gun from the armorer or the AD as ready, right? You as an actor, I don't think any actor I ever saw started controlling what bullets are in that gun or whatever. You just
yeah, you'd probably make it
live
worse.
rounds on the film set, period, right? So that they had live rounds and were shooting in the afternoon in the desert around is ridiculous.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
So for me, the armorer, she was that young girl who should never be an armorer in that age. Because her father was one. I think she got it all like laid out that she turned
nepotism.
And I think she made all the mistakes. And you cannot also not, as the armorer, when it comes to the shooting on camera, be not there. I think it's ridiculous, when we had, I think about Alone in the Dark, we had shots where 11,000 live rounds were fired in one shot out of 40 different machine guns, high caliber things. And we never had an accident. And that has to do with just you have the right people doing their job, and then it works. So, and I think the armorer, she should go to jail for involuntary manslaughter. I think Alec Baldwin is kind of a press stunt now to get the most attention to the trial, and he will be there, and but what it triggered, and that is really, really bad, because I see that in the New York film I'm doing, everybody's pissing in their pants now.
Right.
You have discussions, I have besides our Zoom meeting, I had every day now hours and hours of Zoom meetings with possible crew, talking to the AD, doing, they're flipping completely out. You have a scene where one guy gets shot, and you think you shoot whatever, the Second World War again, and you think are you insane? Can we not shoot a blank and have a script going? What's the problem now? They all want only gas guns. They want electro guns. They want whatever that you do all CG, everything, right?
But CG doesn't look good. Having the squibs. Looks so much better.
No, I said also I'm not doing scripts CGI. We can do the muzzle flash CGI. That is no problem. But then it doesn't make a noise, right? So the actor is reacting wrong. You need. I like to at least have a half load round, and it's horrible discussions. I'm sure when we will shoot, they will do endless safety meetings. For absolutely no reason, where you say, we're really not here at the Alamo, right? So I mean, it's ridiculous, and I think that will really hurt the film industry because it will make everything way more expensive. You have way slower shooting based on this in action sequences, and things will suck. And I think the actors getting totally paranoid by all the shit too. Gun at me and say I have the rubber duplicate in my hand, but they're still flipping completely out. So and I think that will be that will has very bad consequences.
It's basically the 9/11 of movies, isn't it?
We should make an Alec Baldwin comedy movie now.
Oh yeah.
You could do it like a behind the scenes Day for Night or something, but it just ends in Alec Baldwin killing and Donald
Trump can play Alec Baldwin to get revenge.
People are freaking out now, but there's been shooting in movies since some of the first movies, some of the first movies were westerns, The Great Train Robbery. And there was shooting in it. And you know what? There's only been a couple times when people have actually been shot. There's Brandon
Lee, right?
Yeah, Brandon Lee in The Crow, and then Elena Richardson or Elena Hutchins in is it called Rust? I think the movie was called Rust.
The movie is Rust,
Yeah, but it's like, how many movies come out each year? How many action movies come out each year where there are no accidents? You know, I worked on several action movies that were low budget, you know, like Jean-Claude Van Damme movies and stuff that were shoot like in Mobile. I worked on some of those, and even on those low budget ones, there were weapons masters who were controlling everything. Everything was super safe, using blanks and squibs. And, you know, nobody was like worried, because it's like, okay, yeah, we do all the we do the proper safety checks, and the proper safety checks have amounted in essentially keeping everybody safe. The thing is that just on this movie, they didn't do the proper safety checks. And I think I heard too that the weapons master wasn't on set and he grabbed a gun.
I think they were fired or something. I can't remember, but
she wasn't on set. He grabbed a gun.
He was even a producer. So
he was a producer, and he and the AD didn't do the proper safety check. Is another thing. And it's like, look, it doesn't take that long to do a safety check. Make sure everything is blanked. Make sure that there's no bullets. You know, especially it doesn't take that long. But now I'm seeing all this bullshit, and what it's going to do is it's going to make shooting in movies and action in movies like less realistic, because also, you know, a lot of these actors don't know how the guns react, and they're just going to be, it's going to be all over the place. So you're going to be you're going to be able to tell, yeah, this is like an airsoft gun, or this is like not real, and you're just going to be put out of the movie all for, honestly, some bullshit indie movie.
Yeah, but let's say especially if you go to the higher caliber guns, right? If you don't actually shoot them, you cannot, like the muscle thing, like every moves, you fake it and it looks fake. So you need actually the bang and the move of the gun to make it realistic. And if you don't do this, it's horrible. And what with the Alec Baldwin film also, I felt like when I heard that they had various loaded guns just laying out, and the AD just took one and gave it to him, that is ridiculous. I mean, it's just like I never had that on the armorer controls all the guns. And if you have like massive guns, like as I said, we had an Alone in the Dark or Tunnel Rats or Vietnam War movie or whatever, you have like 4 or 5 armorers, right? So, and then they go around and they say, look, it's loaded, you know, just don't put the finger on the trigger, just wait for action. So they give instructions also to people. They have no clue from guns. They know then what to do. And that was really shocking. To see how loose it all went. And of course, Baldwin was a producer on it, and he was on set the whole time. So he should said something days before, right? Where he should say, look, what the fuck are we doing here with all that guns? You know, he should said that, but instead he didn't. And when he said in the beginning, in his first interview, he said the gun basically got off by accident, right? But it's a Western, so they have a revolver. How's that working? I mean, I cannot accident shoot a revolver. If I pull the trigger back, you know, and then a little thing is enough. But why he should pull the trigger back? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, people who haven't shot revolvers like don't know actually that, especially the first pull of the trigger. You have to put a lot of pressure on for the first pull, because you're not just pulling it back once, you're pulling it back twice. For a revolver, you know, usually they're double action, so it's just like the first pull is the hardest. And I don't believe that you could accidentally do that.
No, impossible, you know. And that is why I felt he's a little off with what he's talking, and he did a lot by saying talk to attorneys.
I think he should have talked to attorneys.
It's always in the you know, after you say something this way and then 2 weeks it's different, and that he made some strategic mistakes, I think.
I think so too. I told that to one of my friends. I'm like, he needs to shut the fuck up, because like all this stuff that he's saying in public where he's constantly contradicting himself is only going to be used against him. I mean, that's what they tell you. Everything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. So, you know, he should have talked to a lawyer after. I think that he, honestly, because of how like the law works, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a slap on the wrist because of this.
Lock him up. Lock him up.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's the armor that goes to jail and he gets a slap on the wrist because he's rich, you know, and like that just tends to happen. But I do think that he's going to have a hard case to make because of his statements before he talked to attorneys. Or maybe he did talk to attorneys and his attorneys were calling him going, shut the fuck up, stop talking. You know?
Yeah, what does he even mean? A shot went off. Wasn't he supposed to shoot someone in the scene anyways?
Yeah.
The camera was not on. He shot her before the said action.
Yeah.
So
I
I
see.
mean that is the thing, you know. If it would all happen after they would, you know, after the action, it would be different. But why you do this? Why you even aim at her and play with the gun around before you film? So, and that is a no-go in general. Like, don't point with the gun anywhere, right? So,
Yeah.
That makes sense.
it's just not okay. You know, but is it jail term is the question, right? So is it like, what is the benefit of him putting in behind bars? I mean, I think he should get probation and pay a lot of money. You know,
I mean, I would
family.
benefit from it.
What?
I would benefit from it. I would enjoy seeing him in prison. That's about
I think
it.
he should be put in prison for his Trump impersonations.
They're so bad.
Oh, no.